Hi, I'm Tony Northrup.
And I'm Chelsea.
And this is like a new thing that we're trying out. We're going to do our weekly reader reviews. But first, we're going to kind of cover what we've been doing personally and some things that we think are important that have just happened in the last week. So if you just want to get right to the reader reviews, you can just skip forward. But we'll just talk for a little bit.
Yeah, so I think, first of all, our biggest news is that Tony's doing a book signing October 5th at Monte Cristo Bookshop in New London. We're going to start at 4
It's
o'clock.
New London, Connecticut,
New
like
London,
the
Connecticut.
southeastern corner of New London.
Yeah, we're not going to London, England, unfortunately. So it's going to start at 4 o'clock. Tony's going to read. He's going to do a book signing. We're going to have some cheese, crackers, wine, and just mingle a bit. And then afterwards, we're going to do a small photo walk through New London. If you can't make it, it's also... Worldwide Photo Walk or something? Worldwide Photo Walk by Scott Kelby?
This is totally coincidental, but Scott Kelby planned this worldwide photo walk with like hundreds of thousands of people, and they're getting together in different cities around the world, and it just happened to be the same day that we scheduled our book signing. So if you can't make it out to New London, hook up with Scott Kelby's crew, and just go to worldwidephodowalk.com or Google it, and it'll come up, I'm sure.
They won't have wine and cheese, though.
No.
So choose wisely. We also have some stuff for you to buy.
Stuff.
So I think the most exciting thing, Tony's been working on it for a long time, is our buyer's guide. We get
like 2 years.
Yeah, we get a ton of questions from everybody. Which camera should I buy? Which lens should I buy? Which strap? We have everything in the buyer's guide, so you can get it and you can know the latest and greatest technology. We're going to keep that updated just like we do with our how-to photography book.
And it's just like my reviews. Like, I'm not telling you that you always need to buy the most expensive gear. I'm telling you how to get the most bang for your buck. I'm telling you what will make a difference in your pictures and what doesn't really matter. I give you lots of tips for getting cheap stuff because I'm kind of a cheapskate myself and I buy a lot of used gear, so I help you kind of navigate eBay and those other used sites. Anyway, it can save you hundreds of dollars or it can save you thousands of dollars if you're serious about the gear.
And let's see, we have a troubleshooting video out.
Yeah, lesson 5 of our video training series is out. You can watch it online. It's cheap, just a few dollars, right from sdpcommunity.com. We also have composition and basic beginner videos up there right now, and more to come soon.
It's a 90-minute video and it's just a few dollars, so that's a bargain.
Yeah.
You guys should take advantage of that. And I'm excited that we also have t-shirts out. I designed some t-shirts for Tony and people expressed that they wanted them, so I got to work. And it is way harder to make t-shirts than I thought, but they'll be out, they're up on our site at sdpcommunity.com right now, and you can go into the store and look at the t-shirts. I've got the sizes and the colors up, and you can check those out. They're a good deal right now because they're up for pre-sale, but as soon as I get them in my hand, the prices got to go up so that I can make some money on those.
Yeah, but they should be shipping in like the next week or two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not ordering them way far in advance or anything. So let's talk about what we've been working on. I've been spending a lot of time with the Canon 70D because it's the newest camera in our arsenal, and I've been trying it out in every different way: sports, wildlife, just general photography, videography, and I've been having a great time with it. I love that camera a lot. So you'll see my 70D review, my final wrap-up one covering every type of photography, coming out real soon.
And also, speaking of cameras, we're selling the 7D, and it's Tony's. And I just saw that Miley Cyrus's camera is selling for like $90,000. So I'm pretty sure...
My feeling is going to be a little hurt if I don't get at least $90K, right? I'm a little cooler than Miley Cyrus, I think.
You know how to twerk.
I guess I'll find out. So, yeah, that's a bit of a spoiler because the 70D is so good that I'm selling off my 7. So that'll go on eBay pretty soon. But yeah, bids in the tens of thousands of dollars would really be appreciated.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. What else?
You
what
want to go
else
over
do we
here?
have to cover?
So, Chelsea, why don't you tell them what you've been working on? I've seen you out with this Polaroid quite a bit.
Yes, I've been playing with the Mamiya RB67, and we put a Polaroid back on it, and I have been loving it. So I've been taking a lot of Polaroid pictures. I've been in the darkroom a lot too, but luckily these self-developed, so that's made it easy for me. But what I was playing with the other day is making some multiple exposures. So we can scan this and show it to them, but I'll just hold it up. I took a silhouette of Tony drinking his coffee and then took a picture of coffee and made it into a double exposure. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no cheating. There's no Photoshop here. This is on actual film, so you know what you see is what you get.
Yeah, so I've just been playing around with different projects, and I'll probably make a video soon on how to do multiple exposures, not just with a Polaroid or film camera, but with your DSLR. It's really fun.
So a few new things in the photography world. Most relevant to me and to a lot of us is that iOS 7 is out, and it has some tweaks to the camera tool that I think are cool. You can now shoot in a square format, and if you do any film, especially medium format film, you know that you kind of love this square format. It's completely different from shooting the traditional, stretched out 35 millimeter format. So you have that option now right in the iPhone 5 or 5S or anything that runs iOS 7, right in the camera. And it also, you can use your filters and actually see them in the preview. So if you feel like shooting black and white, you can enable that and you'll actually see it. And that really makes it much easier to visualize the world around you in black and white. So I think those are cool. There's a few new cameras that are either out or have been announced too.
Yeah.
Canon's new G16 and Nikon's new P7800 are out or going to be available soon, and these are like their highest end point and shoot cameras, but I'm interested in these because these are like the point and shoot cameras for those of us who have DSLRs and who know how to use them. You know, they give you full manual control if you want. They both have little exposure compensation dials, so you can really control that exposure in a way that you can't easily do with a lot of point and shoot cameras. You know, they shoot raw, they have good image quality, low noise and low light situations. Anyway, if you want a small camera to complement your DSLR, those are both really good choices. I'm also really excited about the Nikon AW1. Now, this is an underwater camera and it's highly specialized, but it's the first underwater interchangeable camera that didn't require housing since the old Nikonos systems, which I always loved. So you can, it's a small, like, mirrorless camera, a little bigger than other mirrorless cameras, but you don't need to put it in a case. You just latch the lens on there and then you can take it underwater. And that also means it's a lot easier to use when you come out of the water, because like I have this old Aquatica housing here, and this thing weighs a ton. So you can put your DSLR in there and go take underwater pictures, but then when you come out of the water, you can't use this thing anymore. You can't be like,
no.
Everybody say cheese. No, it's ridiculous, but you really can with the new Nikon AW1 or those old Nikonos film cameras, which are also pretty cool if you don't mind film photography. And the last thing that I think are cool are the Sony Qx10 and Qx10. These are basically like lenses that strap onto your phone or iPad or an Android phone, whatever it is you got, and they use your phone, your smartphone, to be the display and to control the settings and to do everything smart about it. And I think that's a really cool concept. It's something I've been waiting for the longest time, because, you know, it's silly that we put this operating system in our cameras and then we try to duplicate all these features when our phone's really much better at browsing pictures and uploading them to Facebook and stuff. So it does give you the best of both worlds, though from the early reviews it doesn't sound like it works all that great. Like, there's a lot of lag. It has to transmit wirelessly the image from the sensor to your phone, and people say it's a little too slow and that the interface is still kind of clumsy.
We should get one and try one.
Yeah.
Because I wonder how practical it would be. I can't imagine being out with friends and pulling a tiny lens
out of my
Here's
purse.
my phone. All right, now I just need to strap this lens onto it and then configure the wireless settings.
Yeah, hold on.
It might not be that spontaneous, but well, maybe we'll get a chance to check it out.
Yeah,
If
I'd like to
nothing
try
else,
it.
I think it's a cool trend. I'm sure, 5 years from now, I think we'll be doing something like that.
Well, that pretty much sums up our news. So I think that we should go to our readers' pictures that you submitted, and Tony and I will critique them.
We'll go right into our first picture, apparently by Richard Law. This is an awesome motorcycle picture. Looks perfect to me. Nice and clear, very low noise, ISO 200, 1/320th of a second, f11. Yeah, that all seems reasonable. It's a fairly high f-stop, but I can see that, the focus on these things isn't always precise, so you want to use a higher f-stop number just so you can get everything in focus, and if your camera misses a little bit, you still have a good margin of error there.
Yeah. I like the nice, clean background. How do you do that?
Yeah, it must be cresting a hill or something, because it almost looks like he would be laying on the ground. But great action shot.
Yeah. Good one, Richard.
It's a beautiful sunset.
This is picturesque.
That's funny. The camera reads as a Nikon Coolscan, which would make me think this was scanned from film. I used to use a Coolscan. Well, it's a great shot. I love the off-center composition of the sun there. The haze adds a lot of depth to the picture, and I like the reflections off the water. They found a really good spot. They seem to be up on a hill and looking down a little bit, which gives them a bit of a view. And the timing is perfect. The exposure is perfect.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good one. This is interesting. It's like pearls.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. I wonder if they actually they sprayed the water on there. If so, bonus points for that. It's almost black and white, but you can see just a little bit of color here on the edges as the water droplets act as prisms. Looks great to me. I wish it had a spider in it. You can't plan that, but that would help.
Tony, you're asking for too much. You can't have dew and spiders.
I don't see why not.
Flowers. It's a nice composition. They kind of use the rule of thirds. They offset it. It's a little bit out of focus, right? I can't tell. Sometimes I know the files aren't the best quality, but
it seems to be in focus. It just has
depth of field?
Yeah, it just has a really shallow depth of field. So I can see the focal plane is just right here, but it's so shallow that it means that the stamen or the pistil?
Stamen? Let's say it.
A stamen. Yeah, they're just slightly out, but I think the focus is okay if you were making a small print of it, but it could use a little pop. The guy with the sorry, my mic is scratching a little. The guy with the water droplet should bring a sprayer over here and spray this flower.
Tony, this is getting ridiculous. What are you doing?
Sorry for the noises. I'm just fixing Chelsea's mic.
Stop.
We're trying really hard to stop
I
these
like
YouTube
noise.
guys from getting
You
mad.
know what? I like it. This is nice. I like how her nose ring matches the door.
You're right. It really does. I wonder if it could just be silver and it's reflecting the
You
teal
know how
colors
us ladies color coordinate.
with old barns. Either way, it's a really nice shot. The lighting is really nice, and her eyes have a really good catch light in them.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot, beautiful model. I love the composition, and I love the weathered wood behind her. Great shot. I don't have any criticisms.
A nice depth with it, and in fact, I'll compliment you on the gear that you're using here. Everybody thinks you need like a $10,000 in gear. This guy's using a T3i, which I know the bodies cost about $400, and I'm not sure what lens he's using here, but it's the 17-50. It's not an expensive lens at all. So congrats on getting a great shot without spending a lot.
This guy's got it going on. I know who that is, but I don't know his name.
Yeah, we've seen that shot in the group. But
I know this person, but I don't know this person. Fireworks.
This is a good fireworks shot.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of the story here. You can see it coming up and then exploding. Yeah, that's good. That's solid. It seems like it turned out really good. Looks like you had a nice sturdy tripod. The exposure is perfect. Didn't do anything wrong at all. Well executed.
Yeah, reminds me of a jellyfish.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Oh, I love the shot. I've never seen this shot before. That osprey is ugly and cute at the same time.
In fact, cute, kind of ugly.
Yeah, that's an ugly baby, but it's a great shot. So these are osprey, and they're pretty much all around the world. Interesting story about them. They were almost extinct in the 70s, and then this fella designed this osprey nest, and he basically open sourced it. He just made this nest out of big planks of wood. You
It was like an osprey nest stand.
Yeah, well, you're right. The osprey does the work of the
Yeah,
the nest.
I mean, you can't give the guy all the
You just have to make
credit.
a stand, but he did it from like old railroad ties, and he just gave the plans away for free, and hundreds of thousands of people all over the world set these up, and now the osprey populations are booming. Like, they can almost be a problem. Looking closely at this picture, I'll notice that it looks like the focus got stuck on the nest here in the foreground, when of course you want it on the eye of the osprey, and that just happens.
It does happen. We've all been there.
I suspect with the T3i, he probably had to use focus recompose, or maybe he just had the center autofocus point on. So what I'll do when I have a nice scene like this, especially when they're still, is I'll focus and take 4 or 5 shots, and then I'll refocus, and take 4 or 5 shots, and refocus and take 4 or 5 shots. So you just keep like doing the cycle of refocusing on the eye every time with a single autofocus point, and doing it again and again, because no camera is completely precise, and your body's probably moving forward and back, and the wind is blowing things around. You just take lots of pictures and delete most of them. Though, you know what? Looking at the background, I wonder if you drop the blues a little bit to get a little more blue in that sky. Doesn't that
Yeah, it's a little bit
transition
unnatural
looks
back
like
there.
something happened back
Lay
there?
off the blue. I do that too, but this is the thing. It's like acclimating to a smell almost. You start doing Photoshop, and before you know it, you're out of control.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to take a step back and be like, oh yeah, I think I might have overdone it with the blue.
That baby really is so ugly. You know what? I'm gonna have bird lovers all over me.
Yeah, see, I just dropped the saturation on the blues there a little bit, and I think it actually ends up looking more natural.
Oh yeah. Hey, good one.
Another T3i, so just let you know, that's right near the bottom of the Canon lineup.
See? If you dream it, you can do it. This is a nice picture.
Exactly. It's a great storytelling shot, and I love the inclusion here in the background. It's not too distracting. The light is really nice, and the exposure is perfect. Look at that histogram just spread all the way across of it. Perfectly done.
She has light hair, but it's exposed properly.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to comment on it, because it would be really easy for her skin and her shirt to end up just mid-tones gray. Maybe he did that in the processing, but maybe he got it right during the exposure. And look at that camera, a 5D classic, the original 5D. Those things go for like $500 now. They're about the cheapest full-frame camera, digital camera you can buy.
You're really driving that home.
I guess I'm just noticing that the metadata is here. So it's interesting to me what gear people are using. Just going to take a sip of my margarita here.
This has become a ritual for us.
This is a beautiful silhouette shot. So the way you'll take a shot like this is you can disregard the people, and then you just expose for the background. And you want the sun here to be a little bit blown out. You want it to be clipping the right side. See, as I'm turning this on, anything that's overexposed is going to turn red. So you can see, as I click that, the sun here is turning red, and that means it's overexposed, which is exactly what you want. You want the sun to be overexposed, and you want the sky to be properly exposed. You can see these reds here. That's all the sky. So the exposure is perfect here. You just let the people go to black. And it's a really nice story. I wouldn't mind it if there was a little more room over here. I think last week our thing was kind of like crop and convert to black and white, and here I'd like to uncrop it a little bit.
Yeah. You know what I love about shots like these, though, is that there's this family at the beach, and I focus more on the story than the person because they're silhouetted. So if I could see the person more clearly, I might be thinking, oh, well, that woman looks like this, or she's wearing that. And because they're in silhouette, I'm just thinking about the time that they had. It's a really nice story. It's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
I like it.
A word about the settings, though. He's at ISO 800 here in 1/200th of a second. You could have gotten a good exposure at 1/60th of a second, and that would have let you drop down to like ISO 200, and you know you can see some noise in here. It just would have made a little cleaner image, but it's a minor technical point. What is this?
A bat.
Oh, a bat.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That's great.
That's certainly better than any bat flying picture I have.
This picture needs to be cropped big time. Do it.
Okay.
That's too big time. I disagree with your choice. Actually, that's pretty nice. All right.
You know, I am going to just fix the framing and recrop it. So there are a couple of elements here. There's the bat and the reflection, which is just remarkable because you don't see bats in the day, and when they do, their flight is so erratic. But I will see them like over a body of water. They'll come down and get a drink of it, and this guy managed to catch it, which is just remarkable.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, that's taken with a 100mm lens. That means that bat was pretty close. And those things move fast. This is really a pretty remarkable shot.
Yeah.
Like I said, a tighter crop definitely helps tell the story better, especially on small screens. You know, if people are looking at this on their phone, you know, if you're putting this on Facebook and that's your primary audience, people are looking at on tiny little phone screens, you really want to crop in tight around your subject. If you're making a 40-inch print, by all means, make it about the water and make the subject small. But on the phone, you really got to get to the point. But your settings are perfect. 1/1000th is a good selection for this. It could have even gone faster, except you froze the motion, so you didn't need to. Oh, zoom back a little bit. That's a really cute shot, and here the crop is perfect, especially for small formats, for Facebook, for the phone, where people are consuming pictures nowadays. You can see right away your eyes are drawn to her eyes. And then her face is just nicely framed by her hair here. There's absolutely not a single distraction in the picture. Just a great shot.
Yeah, it's a nice shot.
Oh, you know what? I almost said he misfocused on the eyes, but the eyes
it's the right eyes in
perfect.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It must. What are the settings there? Oh yeah, f4. So he had a really shallow depth of field. Can I see it in black and white? She has beautiful blue eyes, but I just can't help it. I really like it in black and white.
Yeah, I like it too.
You could adjust the colors a little bit and
let me just. It's funny. I didn't think it was underexposed, but looking at the histogram, there's a lot of space there. And then when I convert it to black and white, I always want to see the skin tones just about near white. That's too much. Why is that looking so very harsh?
I don't know. I don't have all the answers, Tony. I think it needs a touch more contrast, yeah.
A little more contrast?
A little more contrast.
What do you think? Better here?
The reason why I like it in black and white is because in black and white, you really focus on the expression in her eyes. Now put it back in color. I see her bright blue hairband and the red behind her is really fighting for my attention.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking at it, switching back to color, I'm immediately distracted by this.
Yeah.
She has this bit of pink in her shirt, and then this red doesn't bother me too much, but you're right, you get distracted by everything else. You're right, that shot goes in black and white.
And never spot color eyes. I don't want to see it. How do you feel about that?
That's funny. As I was converting it to black and white, I was like, somebody's going to be tempted to make this thing spot color.
Don't do it.
You know what we can
do? Your platform is like no lens cap. Mine is like, please don't spot color eyes. What are you doing?
What?
Tony, what is happening right now?
I wouldn't do that to you.
It seems like you're doing it, and it's slowly enough so that I'm perceiving it.
It's spot color. I know people love spot color.
No, people don't.
We
There's
do not.
People right
Please
here.
don't do spot color. All right, I'll fix her just so we don't.
I've seen spot color done well.
Yeah, like in that Red Balloon, that German Red Balloon movie. From the 80s.
No, but also Samantha Shannon, our photographer friend, she did one of kids' finger painting, and their hands had color, the finger paint.
You're right.
That was a cool picture.
It's a technique, but it tends to be overdone.
Sometimes it can happen. Whoa, too much blue.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the saturation was adjusted on this one. I think it might have just been... Do you think the saturation was adjusted?
Oh, I don't know. I actually said whoa at first because they were flying in the air, but then my second statement was too much blue.
Yeah,
so I wasn't that overwhelmed by the blue, but I did notice there's a lot of blue. Let's see. Let's try to fix it up.
Oh, you want me to drop the blues?
You're out of control.
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe warm up this photo a little. Maybe...
You want to go back here and just warm the whole thing up?
Maybe. I mean, I like to play around. Getting a little green.
A little green?
Go back to where you were when you kind of manually took the blue out, and then also warm it. And let's see what we get with that.
Oh, boy.
Hey, could you just use a little eyedropper tool and just find the white and the parasol?
Yeah, you know what I was going to say? I think this might just be a white balance problem.
Yeah, let's see what's happening. Oh,
all
that's
right.
Much more natural.
Yeah. I wonder if they just had their white balance set to shade or cloudy days, or...
I don't know.
Or maybe they just lost their mind.
They could have. I've seen these things happen.
That might be overdone. It might be a little too much, but... Or maybe I've just been looking at it too long.
I don't know.
All right, so there was a color problem, I think. And, I like this as a cool moment. And I think if you could do anything you wanted, there's a storytelling here. We need to tell the story of the boat, and we need to tell the story of the guy here. And I would love to be able to see this guy's expression. Because I bet he's thrilled to be up in the air. But at the same time, you can't just have him floating in just his expression. There would be no storytelling. You need that line, and you need the boat. So, I think the best picture would be here with your head sticking out of the water and the boat driving past you and you're looking up it. But
I think what
that's
you're
probably not
telling
a
this
perspective you
person-
can choose.
You're telling somebody you just want impossible things to happen. Is that what I'm hearing right now?
I'm actually kind of saying I do want impossible things to happen, but I'm saying I understand. I can come up with better compositions, but I can understand that it wouldn't be practical.
You know what I wish?
What do you wish?
I wish that there were like zoo animals in the boat, and it was a buddy cop movie about a man in his boat. And
This guy clearly doesn't play by the rules.
that wasn't that constructive.
The only thing that bugs me, I'm saying the composition, we could do something with that, but we can't at the same time, not in practice. The balance here bothers me a little bit because the distance here was way less than the distance all the way to the top. So that's the shape of the camera. But you know what? You can always crop. And you can crop it down to a different shape.
Gosh, Croposaurus.
So that's before.
Oh yeah,
and
we
that's
did some
after.
things. All right, there was some sassy talk in there, but we got to it. Oh my goodness.
This is freaky. This actually looks great.
Yeah.
These blades look perfect.
I do, and I like how
I
they
assume that's
they remembered to
Photoshopped?
keep. No,
Oh, is this actually the way the toy looks?
no, I think
Or did
I
he...
think that's Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I think he did a great job with the editing. My only suggestion, Miguel, would be to choose a better background because you have this really cool, magical looking thing going on, and then it's like, hey, there's a fence and a boat in the background. So it'd be really neat if you put a cool background behind him. You could have a whole scene and a story.
Yeah, but as far as the photoshopping goes, I can't criticize that. It looks perfect. His shadow is perfect. That's something a lot of people overlook with these levitation
overlook that
pictures.
sometimes. I do that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, so he was just in his front yard and
Yeah.
trying this technique out. But yeah, I say redo this. Put him in like long black robes. Just go to the cloth store and just drape some cloth over him.
What?
Well, you want to make him look cool. Do you think that's the proper outfit of a Jedi Master?
I don't judge people by how they look on the outside, unlike some people.
But his pose is perfect. He's a great model. And yeah, and take him out into like the woods. Put him in a black hooded robe. I don't know why Chelsea's scoffing. Like she's never dressed up.
I think it's funny. And he would go to great lengths. This is a good picture. Look at those wings.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's beautiful and sharp. This is perfect.
This is Paul Crane, ladies and gentlemen. He's
Paul
got
Crane.
it going on.
I'm just gonna see if I can get a little more detail out of the. All right, look.
doing?
See, I'm using the shadow. See how much that adds to the bee. The bee is this. It has these like deep blacks. That's the before and that's the after. It's better with the shadows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily dealing with the background here. Just looking at the foreground, this happens a lot because animals, they have deep blacks and they have bright colors, and so often our camera doesn't capture the dynamic range in the same way that our eyes sees it, so you have to raise the shadows on them.
Yeah.
And you can do that selectively. You could raise it just in the insect. I just raised them for the whole picture for the sake of the illustration. I think we might actually raise the whole exposures to a tad too.
I don't like that. I disagree.
No?
Respectfully.
You're better here?
Well, maybe for the bee, but you're kind of bringing the background out a little too much for my taste.
Okay, well, I'm working in Lightroom. I'm just doing quick things here. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna drop the greens.
Oh my gosh. No, you didn't. Hey, that was a nice choice. I like how you can see the pollen on the bee. Whoa.
Yeah, and there's I could. All right, Well, let's go to the next picture. But anyway, nicely done. What's he shooting here? That's a 35 millimeter lens.
Yeah. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
I don't know either. He must have been really close to that B. Wow. Well, nicely done. I thought it was going to be like 100 or 150.
This is beautiful.
Wow.
This guy, we know him. I feel like we know him. We should
yeah.
hang out with him.
Yeah, clearly.
He's always doing cool stuff.
He's always got a good scene that's zoomed in as far as I can get.
That's beautiful.
That's just beautiful. And he must be on a hot air balloon too. We've been on a couple of hot air balloon rides. They're a blast. Have a little sip here. He's in the readers group, so you can notice that his horizon is just super level. Nicely done, because he knows he's going to get busted if his horizon isn't level, but he nailed it. There's tons of contrast in the sky here because he had an overcast sky, and that could so easily just be dull and gray. And I don't know if he fixed it in processing or if there really was this much drama, but I suspect this had a bit of either increasing the clarity or of HDR processing. HDR wouldn't work, too much movement.
It's
but
very saturated.
It's clearly a single exposure. Yeah, and maybe a little bit of clarity and clarity and saturation was added here, but it's to beautiful effect. And just a beautiful city, this line of the river and this line here, and then these guys. Wow, just it's a gorgeous picture. I would love to see this in a huge print. Huge print. Any edits that you'd make, Chels?
No.
No, don't touch it, right?
Leave this one be. That is some nice soft water.
Yeah, so this is a 2-second exposure, which is the right thing to do. He got low and in the water. I bet he got wet doing this, which is what I like to see.
Hey, that's dedication.
You're doing the right thing.
You know what? I might add one thing.
What's that?
Well, I'll say this is a good picture, but once you get down something like this, it's fun to experiment. He could have had a friend sit in the picture. 2 seconds, I guess they'd be blurry.
Yeah, but it's really fun to make your friend get in the water, right?
No, well, sometimes it's nice to have a focal point as well.
Yeah. I'll make a comment on exposure, because the number one problem I see with waterfall pictures, besides short exposures, is that they're underexposed. But this one seems properly exposed.
Yeah.
You want some of the whites to be blown out. So you can see the overexposed parts are in white here, or in red. So these are a little bit overexposed, which is right. In fact, you might even want them to be a little more blown out. You want plenty of blown out areas. Also say I'm not sure the color is adding to this picture. So it might be a candidate for...
Where's the oranges? So that the rocks have some texture.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice shot.
I like that. Good job. Who is this, sweetie?
Oh, he or she is very cute.
I would crop it. There's a lot of distracting things going on.
Yeah.
I think I'd crop it and make it like a vertical shot. So let's try that out.
You know what's interesting is this shot is cropped, because obviously it wasn't shot square, but it was cropped to square.
Let's do it more.
Oh, you want it? Okay.
Let's take this to the next level.
So you want it to be vertical.
Yeah, because I love how the little paws are across, like a little gentleman or lady. It's like, what's up? Is that too tight? I mean, is that too, claustrophobic? Oh.
I'm not sure that crop shape is the shape that we want, but maybe if we go to more like an 8x10.
Should we try black and white?
Maybe, the color's not really adding anything here.
The rug is a distracting color, the collar,
That's pretty cute.
I
I'm just
like
gonna...
that.
Yeah, I think that's a good candidate for black and white. And, I'm also going to go back to the original crop just to say, when you're looking at a picture, be sure to just look at the corners, look at the edges of the frame, and just ask yourself, is this adding to the picture? So, if we just look at this part of the picture, is this really adding a lot to the picture?
Well, sometimes it doesn't, on its own, it doesn't add, but it can add balance.
Yeah, that could be. That could be.
That could be.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Why'd you do it?
I have to fix the dog. I'm a little compulsive about this. I can't leave him just cut like that. It feels terrible. All right. Good dog.
Oh.
This is a beautiful picture. I love the composition of it and the fact that everything's being thrown over here. I don't know. Well, I guess you just angled the camera to the guy with the steel wool. This is steel wool. The way I recommend doing is you put it in a whisk, like you would beat your eggs with, and you just spin it. You light it on fire with a lighter, or you can just push a 9-volt battery into it. Right. A string and a whisk.
Crucial
and you
detail.
Cover yourself in stuff that doesn't burn. Like a windbreaker.
A windbreaker? Wouldn't that melt onto your skin?
Okay, please don't ever do this, people. Don't deal with fire.
What about those fireproof pajamas?
Yeah, really what you should do is you should call the fire crew and you should borrow an outfit. But you put steel wool in a whisk and you tie the whisk to a long string. This looks like it's like a 2 or 3 foot string. And then you light it on fire and you spin it, and the steel wool sends out all these sparks. But it's dangerous and I don't want to get sued, so please don't do this.
See, but he's from the UK, not the United States, so they're not as litigious there.
Yeah. Okay. But if you were to do this, which you shouldn't, sparks will fly out and they will land in your hair and they will land on your hand and they will land in dry grass. And he's on sand, so nothing's going to burn. Probably.
Nice picture, though.
Yeah.
Good balance.
I love the orange, the bright colors, and the blue just complement each other perfectly. Yeah. And I wouldn't change, I don't think I'd change anything about it. I love perfect rule of thirds composition.
When is he going to send us like a bad picture so we can give him feedback?
Yeah, let's see your bad pictures, Saeed.
Yeah, come on.
So we have step-by-step instructions on how to do this in Chapter 11 of Stunning Digital Photography. There's a video too.
This is an interesting shot. I like that they got the close-up detail. They did something different with it. They focused.
That's definitely the way to go, because I think most people would have just stood back and taken a wide-angle shot, and it would have been boring. There would have been no focal point, but they focused on the lines and the composition.
Black and white.
Really? I like the colors on this one.
Maybe. You know what? I think you should always try something different.
I feel like you made an awful mistake.
You know what? I regret nothing. YOLO.
This is, for me, the color wins. I love the subtle colors here. They're not overwhelming. They're not distracting. No?
I mean, you're not a professional like me, but...
Anyway, the composition here is really nice. They align these lines really nicely. These curves are really nice, and they just lead your eye through the picture. There's nothing wrong with this picture. It's nice.
What?
Oh, this is cute.
That is so cute.
I am afraid for this person because ducks are vicious animals.
No, ducks are loving creatures.
If you count love bites as a sign of affection.
No, they love you.
Maybe they love you. They do not love me.
Well.
They will bite me. But this is a great shot. It's nice and tight. The subject of the photo is the interaction between the person and the duck here.
Can you bring up the shadows a little?
Really? Okay.
Well, maybe not. I was just thinking that his eye is a little bit dark.
Oh, yeah, that's one of those things. I have a video on that in Chapter 8 of Stunning Digital Photography where I talk about processing wildlife photos. That's one of the things you can do. This area feels a little big to me, because this is the focus and these hands are kind of cut off. I'm just going to pull this in just a little bit more. Not too much. But I'd also comment on the exposure. Really nice.
Yeah,
it's hard to get a white subject like this.
That was good.
Yeah, or worse, underexposed. They often end up gray, but perfectly exposed, nice and tight. You could have gone to ISO 100 here, but I won't complain too much. ISO 200 on a Mark III is still pretty good.
Ooh.
This is the GBH, the Great Blue Heron, taken with the Canon 100 to 400 zoom. I own that lens for a long time. It's a good solid lens.
I would blur that background a little bit more. It's a bit noisy.
Yeah, I have a video in Chapter 8 editing wildlife photos of Sony Digital Photography that shows you how to select the background. It's not as hard as you might think. You can just grab this adjustment brush and you like do this, and you just like Lightroom kind of masks it for you, and they do a pretty good job. And then you go around like that, and then you have just that selected, and you can just crank up the noise reduction, and it affects just the background. So this is a good sharp picture. You focus on the eye. The light on the bird is really nice. The exposure is perfect. A different head turn would have been a little nicer. It's nice to see him a little bit in profile. I think most birds don't look great kind of face. It's not the most flattering angle for a bird. This is like a perfect 7/8. It's great for a person, not for bird. Not their best angle. They're better in profile, I think. And the way you do that is you're just patient. You just sit there and you take pictures, and at some point he turns their head. Birds are always looking everywhere. They're always checking everything out. So if you just hold still and wait, they will pose for you. And once you get the right angle, you just keep snapping pictures and take lots of pictures and delete most of them and just pick your favorite one. So a little more patience could have worked. Also comment on the settings. This is at 1/4000th. For a perched bird like this, a standing bird, you could shoot at 1/250th. And anyway, you definitely could have shot at ISO 100, which would have let you get rid of some of that noise. Chelsea gave a thumbs up. All right, so this is a cool, more light painting.
I like that they put the subject between the rails of the bridge. They act as a leading line, so it kind of focuses you on the orb. And that was a nice idea for a composition.
Yeah, I appreciate the thoughtfulness of this.
I'd actually center it, though. Crop it and just make it dead center, maybe. I don't know if there's enough room or if it would take away too much of the rails, but yeah, it seems like it should be centered.
Compositionally, we're like almost at perfect symmetry, and so, you want to be deliberate about it. If you're going off-center, be very off-center. Let's see, they're pretty close. Well, yeah, I guess you're saying the ball here is a little closer to the left than to the right.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Let's see.
But they can't easily just move that whole thing.
You disappoint me. No, but it looks good. I like that picture.
All right, if you're going to challenge me.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
That's it, it's on.
It's not. I never put it on. There okay. You go. That's what you get when you try to be cool.
I don't know how to do this in Lightroom. Is it going to let me do this? Come on. Oh, okay. I only know how to do this in Photoshop. I'm so sorry I did that to your picture, sir. Or ma'am. Anyway, glad to see you out at night. The exposure is really nice. You picked a good location. I appreciate that. Go ahead and level the photo in post, because I know at night you're never going to get the photo perfectly level. This is done by putting some sort of light element of flashlight or something at the end of a string and kind of swinging it. And the person who's swinging it is also they're rotating their whole body. So you end up making a sphere. This is hard. I know this took some practice and several different attempts, so nicely done.
It does look good.
30 seconds at ISO 100, perfect settings.
Oh, 3 birds.
Yeah, that's really cute.
I remember him. Let's crop this baby.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like,
look at that beautiful
I think
light.
The location is important, but you're right. This is a story of 3 birds, and the location is important. But there's maybe a little bit more than we need there. So I think just those elements on the left getting cropped out make this a really nice picture. Those are doves, so somebody's missing a partner. What? Okay.
This squirrel is crazy.
He's just showing off now. What's he got there? Rich. Got a nut hanging upside down.
It would be weird if it were a tiny cheeseburger. And there was like something we didn't know about squirrels. They're great chefs.
It's a cute shot. I'm not sure what else to say about it. I like that he's hanging vertically. You'd be tempted to crop it. I think part of the interest is that he's hanging from his rear feet.
He's cute.
Yeah.
Where's this?
Dubai? You think? I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I went right to this.
Oh, there's a flag in the bottom left-hand corner. Let's zoom in and solve the mystery.
Okay, I gotta get rid of this. Lens flare is often attractive. I can tell there's a street light right here off camera. And this isn't too bad. This is interesting, but this random piece of flare just looks like a jellyfish in the sky. So we're going to remove that. I also want to fix the... Oh, you wanted to look at the flag?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Canada? Maybe...
Oh, Canada.
Where could this... Montreal, I guess? I don't know.
Should go there.
Yeah.
Hey, how long was this exposure? Do we know that?
I don't think I have metadata for this
Zoom
picture.
in to the top of the building. It's nice and clear, right?
Yeah.
Looks like it was a long exposure.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. This is a little troubling to me. Like, there's no real blacks in this picture, so I'm going to drop the blacks a little bit, especially since it's a night photo. You want some nice, rich blacks in there. This happens at night. You get these street lights over here, and you can put what they call a gobo. Just something between your lens and the light. Just, you can stand there. You can take your hat off. You can hold up a piece of paper. Or if you have a lens hood and it's not on yet, put that lens hood on, and it'll just block the stray light from entering.
I
Because it's a
actually
little
like the
distracting.
street light.
Yeah, it is a little bit interesting if it's done deliberately. Maybe you made that decision. I also say I wish there were some more buildings in the ground here, because there's kind of an awkward crop in these buildings, and these guys seem to be coming out of nowhere. I wouldn't mind seeing some actual street down here. And I feel like I want to play with the white balance a little. Night shots are always a little warm. Yeah, you know me, I always adjust the white balance.
I recognize this
It's
boy.
Mohammed's kid. Yeah, we see him all the time.
He's so cute.
Yeah, another great
This
shot.
is a great picture.
Yeah.
Good job, Mohammed. I don't have any feedback. You nailed it.
Yeah, I love the reflections on the water there. Yeah, just a great scene. Nice placement of the horizon. I can tell that he had to crouch down, and I think he was deliberate about where he placed the horizon on the subject. At the beach near the water, that's always the worst thing. I always see the horizon like either right over the person's head, but he composed with the horizon and then put his subject in that background, and it came out perfect, as well as the sun. Nicely done. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm just trying to figure out where this is. I do not know where this is.
This is not America.
No. The first thing that strikes me is that the blues feel a little too much, don't you think?
Saturated.
Yeah. So I'm just going to bring these back to earth levels.
Earth levels?
Just down a little bit.
This is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I like the reflections on the right. There are a few elements that are fighting for my attention.
You're right. Your eye comes to this pink building and the bright sky, and then you're like, and this mirror's over here too.
What if we crop this baby?
Ooh, how would you crop it?
I would just
get rid of the stuff on the left.
Maybe.
Let me just look it.
I like that better.
Down here?
Yeah. And then see the line above the reflective glass on the building? It's kind of a leading line to the background.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of leads your eye over here. Yeah, it did feel like there was just a bit too much in that picture. Just needed to find that subject and tighten it.
Put it, I can't believe I haven't thought of this before, black and white. Maybe. People must think I'm obsessed, but there really is a time and a place for black and white. And if
it
the
seems like it's every time and every place.
Well, no. Have I been wrong?
No.
Never.
It's one thing I've learned being married to. You've not been wrong so far.
True. This baby's cute. Oh,
Yeah, this is
her
a really
shirt's
cute
a little
picture.
blown out, right?
I'm okay with that.
Are you? You could just lower the highlights a little bit and see if we could get a bit more.
None of it's overexposed. You can see only the red parts are overexposed, just a tiny bit around there, but
Okay.
I'll lower the highlights if you want. That
Excuse
looks
me.
good to me.
Thought I was
I
never
think-
wrong.
I will clarify that. Yeah, you're right you're right first.
Okay.
But with the highlights blown out, your eye does kind of go there because it's the brightest thing in the subject, in the photo. So if you drop them down a little bit, her shirt's not competing so much with her face. I think that the
Thank
balance
you.
is a little bit better. Otherwise, beautiful shot, nice crop. I can't think of anything to add. I like the background blur.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I will say, sometimes with a shot, I like to get some distance from it. So I'll take a picture and it's really difficult to be unbiased. And I'll get away from it from a little bit and I'll go back and try to look at it with fresh eyes and see what the first thing is that my eyes go to. And in this picture, it was her shirt because it was so bright.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of make a decision from there.
As we've been talking, I've also been just kind of upset that this crop goes like right there. It's just a little bit of an uncomfortable crop, you
What are
know.
you going to do about it?
I can't uncrop it. I'll try. Let me see. No.
No, you can crop more.
No, but I want to crop less.
Oh, I can't help you there.
I think we'll just have to invent a time machine. So it doesn't hurt to shoot a little wide because you can always crop later. And yeah, we just barely got the top of a ribbon off and it's so minor. But you know, if you were to print this and put it in a picture frame, well, the picture frame would overlap a little more and then that would be a little more uncomfortable. So just shoot a little wide. This is where
I really like the crop, but
it's this no it's
something, what is this? Camera shake? Maybe they handheld the shot? And
well, I mean it's
like a handheld HDR shot. Trying to think what they did. Is the depth of field shallow? What's in focus here?
first there's some crazy chromatic aberrations going on here. Like see the orange lines here and the deep blue lines here, and then yeah, there's HDR processing. But yeah, why is it so
Soft.
blurry? I think it might simply be out of focus. Looking at the grass here, maybe the grass is sharper, do you think?
It looks to me like a handheld HDR shot and it wasn't quite lined up or something. I don't know. But I will say that I do love the composition and I love how dramatic the picture is. The sky was amazing. I love the building.
Yeah, it's a striking photo right away, and I'm sorry we got caught up on all the technical details. But I do
Well,
like
I
the
think
shot.
it's just because we've done HDR and these are problems we have run into, and that I can't quite put my finger on what he did. I know that I've made this same mistake, but it's just really, I think, too soft of a focus.
Yeah.
The good news is you can always try again. That's what practice is for. I don't know exactly what went on there.
I like the Cetulan. This is a really good angle on it. I like that you can see the sky. It got down low. It got right in the flowers. This is the right angle.
Can I tell you a secret?
Is it about black and white?
No.
Okay.
I have a weird thing against statue pictures.
Oh yeah, they're awfully hard to do, aren't
They're
they?
really hard to do, and I always try to do them because you stumble upon a statue and it's really breathtaking. This is a beautiful statue. But there's something about them in a picture I just don't think that it conveys. This is one of the better statue pictures that I've seen. I think that this person did a great job. I just don't know how to feel about statue pictures, though.
Yeah, I've spent an awful lot of time trying to take pictures of statues, especially in my early years as a young adult tourist. And you go to like Paris, there's statues everywhere, and then I get home and I'm like never happy with them.
You know what I think it is? Is that this picture doesn't tell a story because we know it's a statue. If these were real people, then it would tell a story. But right now the story it tells me is that this person saw a nice statue. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I also struggle with who's the artist here because
Yeah, a little bit of that.
an artist at some point made this amazing statue, and so I always feel a little weird taking pictures of somebody else's art and then being like, here's my art. And you can add something to it, or maybe there's something about the mood, or maybe you just want to capture the statue as best as you can. Anyway, I love this angle, and I love the composition.
They did a great job.
There's a couple of people back here that I find terribly distracting, and those could be cloned out, or you could just hang out and just wait a minute for them to disappear. You could slap on a neutral density filter and do a 2-second exposure so they're kind of blurred. You could wait till night.
Wait till night.
Yeah, there are things you can do to get rid of those people.
You would have been there for a very long time.
If you're going to take a picture of statues, those are some things you can do to eliminate the distractions.
This picture's cool.
Oh, this makes me miss Breaking Bad.
Yeah, me too. I thought of Breaking Bad right away.
That's what it needs, a focal point, just an old RV with like orange smoke coming out of it.
I like it. Maybe are the colors a little oversaturated, or am I just...
I think he might have gotten a little carried away as he was editing it. I kind of want to see this in focus too. Aren't you a little troubled by how blurry this gets at the bottom?
Yeah.
Like I love the depth in the picture, but this is, you could fix this with focus stacking, and I cover that in chapter 12 of Studying Digital Photography. It's a macro chapter, but those same techniques apply equally well to landscape pictures. You just take a picture focused here, and then here, and then here, and then you combine them in post. And that would allow you to get this in
What a great
focus.
composition,
But
though.
yeah,
Great
great composition. These are lines that lead your eyes right back to these gorgeous mountains, not a distraction in sight.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah, I love this too. And this looks like either HDR or it's had the clarity really pumped up, but the sky could be very boring, but it's very interesting. The reflections are just perfect.
The reflections are beautiful.
The line of the water here was clearly very carefully thought out.
Beautiful picture.
This also,
is
the third eye here. 1 picture a week. We got like 69 pictures to go through, bro.
No, but the other guy did the same thing. Do we need to you're saying we need to crack down?
Yeah. Yeah, just 1 picture a week, guys. We got a lot of pictures to go through.
Hey, it's 10:15 on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, we're tired.
We're tired. And so is this police officer.
Yeah, I really like the eye contact in this picture.
Yeah. I like that it's in black and white.
Photography.
Street photography is traditionally in black and white. Just a little something about
There's a little trivia from Chels.
It's a little something. I wouldn't change a thing.
No? You don't like my raising of the shadows?
Oh, you know what? All right, good choice. I'd change that.
Nicely done. Good moment.
Oh.
This is
one of those
a European robin.
robins.
Yeah, exactly. I think the robins we have in the U.S. are so much uglier. Just like everything in the U.S., right? It's all the cheeseburgers.
How could you say that about our beautiful country?
But, yeah, these European robins are really cute. I might crop it. Not turning it into black and white, but, with bird photography, we really just want to see one thing, and it's the bird, and it's the details, and, you get as close as you can. And when you can't get any closer,
that's a great picture.
You go ahead and crop it. But this picture turned out great. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Perfect exposure. This is the pose we're
you.
looking for. Just about a perfect profile. I like a little angle on it. And he's got the sun to his back, which is where you want to be for birds, because the bird's got that perfect catch light. So just great shot. Besides the crop, I wouldn't change anything.
This picture's cool.
Yeah, this is a nice still life. Got 2 elements here, the bulb and then its reflection.
It's gorgeous.
The light is really nice. It shapes it perfectly. This is going to be all about the light, because if you had soft light, this would be so boring. It's hard light, but it's a big light source, and it's letting you see that nice round shape of the bulb, and that can be a real challenge. Just try taking a picture of a light bulb. It's not that easy to make it interesting.
I like this picture a lot.
The only thing that bugs me is that look at the reflection here. It cuts into the bottom, and then at the top there's this gap up here. So I feel like I got to get rid of that gap, or I won't be able to sleep tonight. So I'm just going to pull that down just a little bit more. No.
I don't know.
Again, clarity, or probably clarity, not HDR. There's no ghosting or anything, so I'm going to guess that it's not HDR, but probably a single exposure. Maybe it's processed for HDR from a single exposure, but that brought out a lot of detail and interest in the sand here. The sky looks great. There's a little bit of a story here.
There's a
These
little
people
bit
are
too much
bringing out
going
these
on for me.
sailboats. Yeah.
Because the
there's-
color's really highly saturated. All of the details are brought out. I'm seeing so much in the sand. I'm seeing sailboats. I'm seeing a sky. Like, I'm freaking out over here. Let's simplify this picture.
Yeah, my first thought is, what's this picture about sticks in the sand?
Really?
Well, that was like the first thing my eye went to, but yeah, you're right. We just got to simplify it a little bit, just decide what our subject is. And, we're cropping it now because that's what we can do, but I think it would be a lot better
I'd
if
say
you
desaturate it a little
actually
bit.
got a little closer while you were shooting, and yeah, I'll happily drop the saturation.
It's not the same when we try to do it once they've processed it, so this isn't really what I'd want it to look like.
Yeah.
So it looks saturated but washed out. Maybe drop the vibrance a little instead. And then raise the saturation back to normal. I think it's better. Now I'm not as distracted by the sand in the foreground.
Yeah, it did bring out, the processing brought out so much interest in the sand and the sky that it distracted us from the subject of the picture, because you had this cool sky and this cool ground, but then we couldn't see what was going on. I think that's the more interesting element.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think that's somebody messaging me on Facebook. I think this picture is actually having a bit of the same issue, because there's been so much localized contrast in these waves. We just see there's just all this detail here.
Processing is really difficult.
It's easy to overdo it.
Yeah. A little bit overdone, but I do like the composition, and I think it's a nice picture.
Yeah.
We can't really undo what they've done.
Yeah, especially in black and white.
Is this a pepper or a tomato?
Yeah.
Tomato?
I'm gonna guess pepper.
I'm gonna guess tomato.
You're wrong. I'm right. I have no reason to believe that.
It's a little out of focus, I think. Is it?
It looks sharp to me.
Tony, you need to tell people not to talk to you on Facebook.
Yeah, I want to mute my computer, but I'm afraid I'll screw up my audio, and you know how people get when I mess up the audio. The only thing that's bothering me about this is that it's almost a high-key picture, and I think it's trying to be a high-key picture, but these grays are a little deep. We just want that background. This would have to be backlit if you're going to shoot it like this. And it's fairly bright around here. Like maybe this is on a light bulb, and the light bulb's here, but then the exposure drops so much here. I'll try to, let me see if I can do something with this. Where is it? No. Lens?
What are you up to?
Where's the thing where you darken the corners? Is it... Why am I not finding this?
Effects, maybe. Oh, that's lens correction.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Oh. My mistake, Tony.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. And let's just...
Well, I don't think that was a great idea. That's embarrassing.
All right. I was just trying to demonstrate that it might look better if the backlighting was more even.
That's not my problem with the picture. My problem with the picture is that it needs a composition. It needs to show off something about the subject, the texture or the symmetry, but it needs something. Right now it looks like a piece of the object, but I don't see a focal point.
Yeah, and so much of the picture is like this uninteresting part of it. So you might be better off just zooming in a little tighter on a cross section that was more interesting.
Cute picture.
Yeah, and actually right away my thoughts go to storytelling and what she's doing and what she's thinking and what she's looking at. Beautiful, beautiful outfit. I love the monochromatic nature of everything.
I think she was in a winter wedding.
You know, what happened to my metadata? It was showing me the metadata before. Did I hit a key and hide
This
it.
guy posted more than one picture too, Tony. Are you going to get mad?
It takes an awful lot to get me mad. I just have no...
In the future, you know what we could do is just, if we happen to notice someone put up more than one picture, we could just skip it. And like, we'd be like, Miguel, knock it off.
Yeah.
And then we just move past it.
We get an awful lot of pictures, so...
This guy did too, though.
This
Maybe
guy?
we don't have any pictures.
RH photos?
Yeah.
We just have photos from like 3 guys.
Goodbye. See, I pressed the forward. Miguel, we talked about this. You know what? Maybe people just won't watermark them.
I was going to say, we're just stopping the watermarking. So...
You know what? Something.
I think it needs a little more contrast. There's no blacks, there's no whites, and those are important in a black and white photo. You really do need some blacks and some whites. So I'm going to bump the contrast up a little bit, and that'll definitely help it some.
I see people in the train.
Yeah, what is the picture of? It's a picture of a train.
Yeah.
Needs something like a +1. With somebody getting on the train. Is the train going somewhere?
Or the
What are people
movement of
doing?
the train. Let's go. Let's keep going with. Oh, why?
Why would you do that? Okay.
Oh, a tricky subject matter. These cemeteries. But
This-
I think you did it with the fog. There's a mood.
Yeah, and the processing is nice too. This definitely feels like Connecticut, where we live, or it's New England somewhere, right? I was trying to see exactly when these are from.
Oh, who's this? Oh, James. Hi, James. I like the line of tombstones going straight back into the background.
Yeah, actually,
Good
I'm going to guess
composition.
closer to Boston. But yeah, this zero distractions is fairly nicely done. Wait, is that a statue back there? Oh, no, it's just
It's
free.
a thing.
All right, I will say cemetery is... Every photographer thinks, oh, I know a cool subject is cemetery. So much mood there, right? But it's so hard to capture that mood.
Yeah, I think he did it.
You did a pretty good job with it. You composed the lines carefully. But yeah, cemeteries are difficult subjects.
It's not easy. Oh my lord. That's cute.
Why am
Fluffy.
This shot's perfect.
This is perfect. Let's just go
Perfectly
on.
sharp.
This person knows this is perfect too.
Okay.
Come on, let's.
You nailed it. What else can we say?
Oh, you know what is in focus is that little tiny round thing above the leaf. This leaf. That's not right.
Yeah, I think the focus is right, but the depth of field is wrong. So we just want more, a higher f-stop number, because, you know, it gets a little distracting that these leaves, which are part of the main subject, are out of focus. It is nice to blur the background back there, but you'll have to pick. You'll either have to get the whole subject to focus and a sharper background. This looks like a fence.
This is
so
a
it'd be
difficult
distraction.
flower to photograph as well, because it's just, you need such a big depth of field.
Mm-hmm.
The petals are curling back. I don't know, what are those little brown things at the end of the stamen called? I should learn more about flowers, but it'd be really difficult to get all of them in focus because they're all in varying places. So this is just a difficult flower to take a picture of. They would need focus stacking or something.
Well, here's what you do. You move the flower to someplace where there isn't a fence in the background, and then you can use a higher f-stop number and get more stuff in focus. But if you just have to control the background, put some more distance between the subject and the background.
Yeah. Whatever. More squirrels. We
He's a
saw
cutie.
RH photos already.
All right,
Let's
forget it. Go for it. Jessica's got her hand on the keyboard. She's driving
Oh my
now.
gosh!
That's a cute shot.
I like it.
Yeah, we could crop this down a little bit.
I would, this picture has so much personality.
I kind of like his mustache
I like
hair.
his hair. Don't you dare mess with that boy's hair. I
think that works, but yeah, I kind of like his hair. And I like the off-center composition too.
I would edit the bejesus out of this picture.
Oh, really? Like anything
Yeah, because you
specific?
could have fun with it. I don't know.
I'm just going to make this a proper high-key picture. I'm using the adjustment brush I clipped a little bit of his hair there, which isn't deliberate, but
Why do you keep...
I'm being fast.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's a proper high key picture, a little less distracting. This could do a little commercial. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more shadow detail, so I'll raise it just a touch. How would you else? You'd make it a little larger than life?
I'd put a sandwich in his hand.
Don't you think it works just to jack the clarity
Yeah,
up a
well,
little
that's
bit?
what I meant by editing it. Just bring up the clarity, bring up the shadows.
I'm a little confused by his sleeves. It looks like he has funny hands.
He does. And
Like he doesn't have enough knuckles.
Funny hand syndrome, and I think it's insensitive that you would bring it up. Let's move on. That is real neat.
That is so cool.
What are the red dots? Oh.
Aliens.
I feared that.
He's shooting into the streetlight here, and when you shoot into a light, you get flare sometimes.
I haven't
especially if
seen
there's
flare
dust
so
or something.
speckly before. But yeah, they caught the
those
lightning.
little lights. Yeah, well, I thought you meant this. That's flare.
No.
This, I don't.
Aliens?
I think that's just. I think it's just noise.
You know, it's
but
a
it's
darn
like noise
shame.
that's like 5 pixels. That's I've never seen.
Those
anything
power lines are a darn shame. And I agree with. Wait, who was the guy at the end of 60 Minutes? The old guy with the eyebrows?
Andy Rooney.
Yes, I always almost say Mickey Rooney. I agree with Andy Rooney because he said all power lines should be underground, and it's like, why didn't we think of that sooner?
I know, they're just picture ruiners.
They are.
I mean, he could go to a different location, but this guy's
That's the
in
coolest
his front
lightning.
yard, and you're taking pictures of a rainstorm. You don't
Yeah, you
want
don't
to
want
go
to
traveling
go out.
around.
That's amazing, though.
All right, nicely done.
It was a
Congrats.
good time. Let's put this baby in black and white. Get the party started.
Nice high composition.
You know why I did that?
Nice background blur.
Ask me why I did that.
Why would you suggest that, Chelsea?
Because her face isn't in focus, and black and white is more forgiving of that.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, her face isn't in focus.
No.
Black and white is more forgiving?
It is.
Out of focus?
Yeah.
I'm learning something today. I would never... Why? It's black and white and forgiving of being out of focus.
Nobody knows. Scientists have been asking this question for years.
Yeah, so... maybe I feel like...
What?
Where is she looking?
Nope.
Where's...
Nobody knows.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that, I guess. Add a little more to the story.
Oh, that's interesting.
This
Mark.
is really beautiful.
I love that.
He shot nice and wide.
Nice
He got nice
composition.
and low.
I like
This
the
is
blown
all
up
about
sky.
the lines. The lines go right here. Yeah,
I like the texture.
I think you could have recovered detail in this guy, but I don't like it.
He did it right. Let's
It's a
go.
great use of... Chelsea's getting tired.
This is cute. What a great picture. They look, I don't know, they look like they're intimate and they love each other without being cheesy or like big hugs or anything. It's a great picture. Great poses. I like it.
The lighting is really nice. The processing is really nice. I'm just going to switch back to the grid view to give Chelsea a sense of how many pictures we have left. So it looks like 15 pictures.
I'm not rushing it. I'm just, uh-oh.
You're right. It could be leveled just a little bit. I feel like it's a little off level. I'm just going to pull that like that. That feels a little better to me. The first thing that my eyes go to here are his feet. His feet seem like really big. I don't know why. I guess I know why he has his shoes off. He's walking in water. He probably didn't want to ruin his shoes. I get that. But it still feels weird that he'd be here and have his shoes off. But I like the scene. The green's distracting me a little bit. I could do black and white.
Yeah. You know what I like? Are their faces a little out of focus?
Yeah, I think maybe the focus caught his foot, and it might be part of... You're right. His face is a little out of focus. The focus is down here, and that's part of what makes me feel like the picture's all about his
I love
feet.
the commitment of this photo, though.
Yeah, she
It's
got
a really
right
great
in the water.
scene. Very cool.
I remember this one on the readers group. Somebody commented that there was a bride doing a trash the dress shoot, and she got in the water, and she ended up drowning because the water made her dress so heavy. That's kind of a bummer. So don't drown your brides, but...
I mean, to each his own.
Yeah.
I love black and white.
Yeah, we didn't convert this one. It came to us this way. This is a simple composition. It's about the lines. I feel like it could even be simpler. You know, maybe pick just a couple of these lines. They're still just lines everywhere. It's
a little busy.
My eye just kind of goes around. It doesn't rest anywhere in particular.
The focus, too, is very soft.
Oh, yeah. You're right. A little more. There's no distraction, so there's no reason to limit the depth of field, and you could just crank that f-stop number up and get everything nice and sharp. But your exposure is perfect. I like the blown out sky. The contrast is good. Nicely done. This spot color. I feel a little embarrassed now.
Why?
Well, you know what? It's weird.
Because there's spot color in the street light.
You know, this is like Lightroom style spot color, which I demonstrated earlier, where you just like selectively drag some colors down. In Photoshop, you can like select a range.
I disagree with this.
But the weird part is there's this weird spot of blue up here, which is immediately where my eye went to. It's just something that the spot color treatment missed.
Let's take out all the colors.
But here, the spot color is bringing right here, and I don't know what that is, so...
Don't ignore me. Take out those colors. This is why. I think that the building in the background is attractive.
Let's see if we can see a little more of that building.
I like the lines in this picture. Ooh, ooh. I like it without spot color. Oh, I actually think the spot color works here. See, I'm not an unreasonable person. This works.
Yeah, I like this here. I have a feeling it's the same photographer, but I'm glad to see you out at night. I
would take out the green and that light at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
How could you do this to us?
I'll do that for you. Oh, maybe it's more of an aqua. There we go.
There we go.
Chelsea's happy now.
I'm happy. Look at this handsome fella.
Yeah, he's handsome. His eyes are open. It's where we saw this picture before, but maybe it's because I've just seen so many pictures of white tigers.
They are beautiful. His eyes are out of focus, and it's very important to have the animal's picture, the animal's eyes in focus. I don't see.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Looks soft. His whiskers
caught
are
his
in
nose.
focus.
Yeah, that happens. It's tough. Like I said, you just gotta refocus, take more pictures, refocus, take more pictures, because you can't even see with your eye exactly where your camera's going to focus.
You know what? Stop and look at your picture and your camera and zoom in on the eyes to see if they're in focus.
Yeah.
And then if they're not, just take more pictures.
Yeah, just trial and error. Just do it over and over again, and at some point your camera's just going to happen. But you know, you think it's a focusing point, it's not. It's like an area. So the area might be like this, and it's grabbing this because it happens to be in the area instead of where you're actually thinking it's going to be. It depends on the camera too. This, right?
Yeah, get rid of the blue.
We don't like that.
And I like where they were going with this picture. The one thing I would ask for is that one of the flames or candles was perfectly in focus. Because I don't really see where.
Well, I see what you mean. It
because
seems like they're all blurry.
Yeah, they're all blurry. But I love it. I love the lines in the picture, and I love the patterns, so that's nice. Yeah,
this is about lines and patterns, and it does kind of end abruptly here. It'd be nice if they just continued off into the foreground, right?
Yeah, you can't always...
Yeah, so just put your camera right there in the fire.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's difficult.
Gotta level it.
Gotta start with that.
See, this has a nice line of the water there. I don't expect you to get it perfect when you shoot.
There's something... This picture's a little flat. Let's bring up the blacks or something, or the shadows. Let's see. Let's bring up the shadows and see if we can make it pop a little bit. There's something flat about it. It's a little better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's missing that subject, right? Because you have these powerful lines that are drawing your eye right over here, and then your eye gets here, and nothing's happening. Like, if the sun were setting right here, that would be perfect. If there was like a hot air balloon going through, or elephants marching down this bridge, or a 747 taking off, comets, fire, flock of birds, or a killer whale leaping out of the water.
That would be an impressive shot. Wow.
Space shuttle performing an emergency landing in the river, submarine launching missiles.
An active imagination.
From it.
Okay.
Aliens landing.
Well, this is nice.
Are
those people kissing, or is that someone holding a baby?
I'm sorry.
Or somebody kissing a baby?
It might be somebody in a walker. Wow.
I don't know why that would happen.
It's late, guys.
We have to just move past this and just say, I like the chandeliers. I like this.
Yeah, it feels a little dark to me, but
okay.
It's not clear to me what exactly the subject
I'd say the
here
lights
is,
are the subject.
Yeah, it's where my eye goes, and they do create this nice line, but then they don't go anywhere in particular, and I'm not sure. I want to look at that guy, maybe because the line's going to lead to them, but I'm not sure what's going on. Buffalo or bison, or are those the same animal?
I think so.
Beautiful colors. I'm a little bothered by the balance. Look at the distance here. The distance here is good, but the distance here seems a little bit much, so I'm just going to pull that in to balance it with the top a little more.
I love the grasses.
I know,
Such beautiful
I just love
grass.
the colors. This should not be black and white. This should be color.
Well, maybe you should try it.
What? You're crazy.
Oh, I love that.
No. Really?
Oh my gosh, that's so gorgeous. I love it. Love it.
You're delirious.
No, I'm not. I've never felt so strongly about anything in my life.
I do want to raise the shadows. So.
Yeah, now put it in black and white. Do it.
All right, we're just going to let her have her way.
Beautiful.
But this should be a color picture.
No, it shouldn't. I disagree.
Wow.
These three are troublemakers. I can see it.
Those boys are working.
Working to make some trouble. No, I like this picture.
Yeah, I love this picture. It's a slice of life.
It is a slice of life, isn't it?
Yeah, awesome exposure. Look at that histogram. Really nicely done. You got eye contact here. There's a story. Really compelling shot. I like it. I know you're done. I just like looking at that picture.
This is a nice one.
Yeah, this is a really great shot too. This is a one light shoot. The light is off here to the upper right a little bit. You got a great expression out of her. You're using the rule of thirds, and you're kind of violating the rule by having her face off the near edge of the frame, but it's working because it's an unconventional composition, and it makes it more compelling because we're so used to seeing the rule of thirds. So I'm not saying dive into it all the time, but in this low-key environment with this specific shot, I think it really works. I like that shot a lot.
They did it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What's this? Crazy business. Oh, or these must be the Olympics.
Yeah, that's a really interesting shot.
That's
the way that
interesting.
the fire and what do you call it when the heat changes the way the light passes through it like that?
Awesome.
There's a word, and it's just so late at night.
A mirage?
No, that's when you see something that's not there. This is, I grew up, I'm a Texas boy.
Wavy gravy.
Wavy gravy, yes, thank you.
See, it made everybody all wavy gravy.
I can't remember what that's called because it's like, but that was a really cool effect and a great picture. And yeah, great. This belongs in a newspaper.
I thought it belonged in a newspaper too. The moon, I walked on your face.
No, you've not done that. So it's a full moon, perfectly exposed.
What's to not like? Let's put it in black and white.
Much better.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Oh, it already was in black and white? This guy tricked me.
No, it was in color. It's just...
That's what the moon is naturally in black and white? I knew I liked it for a reason.
Oh, wow.
You did it.
Beautiful shot. Yeah, I love the storytelling here. And I have a feeling they hung out and they were taking a picture of this guy. They saw the sun setting and the beautiful monochromatic colors and this guy with his fishing pole. And they made a story. And then they just had to wait for the birds.
I imagine
but without the birds,
something
this
different.
would be not nearly as interesting. What did you imagine?
I think that a guy took his friend fishing. There were 2 poles. And they went out fishing together. And they brought their pet seagulls. And they set them free. They took pictures.
You can see if you just look at the line of the water there with that line that Lightroom provides. It's just like a tiny bit off level, but
You're a freak.
I know. It's better now, though.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Another awesome silhouette.
So many silhouette-y sunsets tonight.
Yeah.
You think it's all the same person and they just love it?
If so, they're going to be in trouble. I actually feel like it's a little hot. I could drop it down. I wouldn't mind seeing her just completely in black, don't you think?
Both ways. Let's see the original. Sometimes I don't know until I see both.
Yeah, it's good practice. Whenever I make edits, I go back to the original. I think, did I really make it better?
I like it.
Is every part of the picture better?
I like it solid black.
You like it like that? Yeah. I like a little more distinct
Because I focus
silhouette
on
too.
her reflection and...
Chelsea and I have been doing a lot of silhouettes lately on film, which really forces us to like master the exposure. And this is the biggest challenge. It's like getting these like nice solid blacks. And in digital, it's just so easy because you could just drop the blacks and just eliminate it.
Yeah.
I think that does work better.
Yeah.
Also,
What are you doing? Leveling the horizon again, Northrop?
it was really close.
You know what? This picture's so cool. Oh, I know this guy. He's our friend, remember?
He's our friend. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. He doesn't need to be told that. Come on.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I guess I wouldn't mind seeing it even tighter, but I know it's hard. Ants are small.
You know what?
But the lighting here is gorgeous, and I do like the whole picture. I love this line here, this long line here, and these other lines.
I prefer it not cropped. I like the crop that he did.
Point. Okay.
It accentuates the smallness of the ant.
You're right. Yeah.
I know. We established earlier.
I love that shot. It's beautiful. I would definitely be proud of that shot.
I would be so proud of it. I'm actually going to put my own watermark on that one.
This is another one of Muhammad's. I remember it. And I recognize his Porsche. And I remember his story. He went out to take some other picture.
And he was like, oh yeah, I have a Porsche.
And it didn't work out. So he did some light painting around his Porsche. And it looks really nice.
You know what?
What?
The car lovers are going to hate me, but I like the picture without the car or the light painting. Look at that beautiful hill in the background and the sky. Or maybe without the light painting. There's a lot going on. He did it well, but I think I would remove one element, and it might be the light painting. And it would look like a Porsche ad.
I like it the way it is. I think if it didn't have the car, we'd scroll past it real quick and we wouldn't think twice about it.
Well, I'm saying remove one element, like maybe not the light painting, but the car's still there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mohammed. We're still friends.
I like it the way it is. But Chelsea's never wrong, so.
I haven't been yet. What?
I like the color. Well, I just thought I would try it.
Are you trying to make me feel good?
Nicely done.
Hey, this is a great action shot.
Oh, yeah, this is great. It's nice and tight.
That's really cool.
Nice and tight. This is where the action is. This is thoughtful, too, because they clearly set it up before the ball went down.
Yeah.
They framed it. They got it perfect. And
you know what I like? I haven't seen the shot before.
I know I've never
No.
seen this, but you got perfect symmetry here. The reflection from the wood is great. Oh, I wonder if they even picked the color of the ball, because the green is a perfect complement with the bright orange and red. Awesome shot. It tells a great story of bowling, and I love this action. The shutter speed is perfect. Like, I bet it took some practice getting that shutter speed right. I wish I could see the metadata, but it's perfect.
I'm also impressed that it's not a gutter ball, because I struggle with that.
I wonder how many shots I had to take to get this, but I love this shot. It's one of my favorite shots of the night.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just good,
a little,
old, simple fun.
a little hotter. Black and white. Not what? Is that the last shot? Whew. So that was fun. We loved seeing all your pictures. And if you want to submit more, just go to sdpcommunity.com. You have to be a buyer of the Stunning Digital Photography book to participate.
Yeah.
It's a benefit of reading the book. But the ebook's only it's less than $10.
Yeah.
Use the coupon code YouTube and you can get 10% off. There's a paperback available too, and you get to access to all the forums, and you get to upload your pictures for our review. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time with it.
That's true.
Thanks.
I don't know what I was supposed to say, like what he said. He's usually right. I'm just here. Bye. Is that good?
That's good.
Ooh, ooh. People like 80s dance music.
Get out of here.
Good luck editing that, Justin.